But to tell you honestly, even as a vocation director of our diocese, nowadays, it is very challenging to be a shepherd. Why? In our situation here in Canada, we are persecuted. And even, you know it, some of our churches were burned. Some of our worship places were vandalized. We are attacked publicly. And even we are accused of something we never did. Let us be instrument of healing by continuing the mandate to love. Daily Gospel Reflection with Father Jack. Friends, brothers and sisters, nothing can stop God's plan for your life. Reflect and be blessed. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I am the good shepherd, says the Lord. I know my sheep and mine know me. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus was walking along, a demoniac who was mute was brought to him. And when the demon had been cast out, the one who had been mute spoke. And the crowds were amazed and said, "Never has anything like this been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "By the ruler of the demons, he cast out the demons." Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and curing every disease and every sickness. When Jesus saw the crowds, he had compassion for them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest." The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning, my dear friends. Our Gospel for today tells us three things. Number one, it speaks about the ministry of Jesus to the lost, his compassion to the lost, and his instructions to pray for the lost. We heard that in the Gospel, Jesus went to the cities and villages to cure every disease and every sickness. Because the heart of Jesus goes out to the people who are in need. His every breath is at the service of someone else in need. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, the tasks to love, the mandate to serve, and the mission to heal is the same task, is the same mission, and is the same mandate we are called into. And today, we are also reminded about the importance of having a shepherd. We need someone to guide, and we need someone to protect us. Because without a shepherd, we will be harassed and helpless. Without a shepherd, the devil will continue to oppress. The devil will continue to torture innocent people. And without the shepherd, the forces of evil and darkness will prevail. And what to do then? The challenge is very clear. Pray for more laborers. Pray for more shepherds. Pray for the increase of vocation. But to tell you honestly, even as a vocation director of our diocese, nowadays, it is very discouraging and challenging to be a shepherd. Why? In our situation here in Canada, we are harassed. We are persecuted. And even, you know it, some of our churches were burned. Some of our worship places were vandalized. We are attacked publicly. And even we are accused of something we never did. We are harassed, and sometimes it's very discouraging. We are attacked. And what should be our response to this? What should be our response? Number one, like Jesus, let us be instrument of healing by continuing proclaiming the mandate of love. What should be our response? Number two, we have to return hatred with compassion. To mute the devil by continuing trusting the Lord. When you do good, there's always two consequences. Number one, people will be amazed. But on the other hand, on the negative side, there will be Pharisees who will always criticize you. But amidst of this harassment, let us not forget that there is a God who will give us justice at the end. Friends, my dear brothers and sisters, pray for us, your shepherds, that like Jacob, like Israel in our first reading, we will continue to ask blessing even if we are harassed. That we may continue to ask for blessing even if we are persecuted. Can you imagine Jacob, who turned to be named Israel, wrestled with someone without name? And he said, I will not stop wrestling with you if you do not tell me your name and if you're not going to give me your blessing. And this is the grace that we're going to ask today. There are so many people who will continue to harass us, continue to torment us, and we will be helpless. But amidst of this, our response be, we continue to bless them. Those who attack us, those who vandalize our church, those who attempt to burn the church by fire, we continue to bless them. And this is the grace that we're going to ask. Our responsibility is to pray to God, to ask God, to beg Him for more workers to spread the gospel.